This is a Headgum original.
Jake and Amir, two Jews that you can't forget. In 2010, they were big on the internet. But then 3 failed pilots, 2 rejected movie scripts. One last-ditch effort to try and stop their career from going to shit. Segment. Another podcast. Segment. Each app different from the last. Segment. It's the Swiss Army knife of shows. Meet your 2 pathetic hosts. Segment. Woo! Woo!
Your first podcast as a single man in a while.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wouldn't say first podcast as a single man in a while, because there's, on some level, the relationship was broken for a long time. I was living on my lonesome. I was living in solitude. Yeah. I guess we should say it's official. Jill has served me. Woo!
And where are you? You're back at your parents' basement? Or?
I'm back at my parents' basement, but I have set my Tinder radius to desperate. So that is up to Red Deer in Canada, down to Tallahassee, Florida.
Down to Mexican Hat, Utah.
Mexican Hat. I've been to Mexican Hat.
I got this sombrero.
I did. I have yes. I actually believe it's on my Instagram.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
You're living La Vida lockdown, back in the parents' basement.
Yeah.
Absolutely solo dolo, cold and dumb.
Yeah, and it's a gorgeous day. It's a little hot, but I would love to be upstairs. I would love to be outside. I would love to be at the pool, but no. I'm in the basement, windowless. Pretty bad ventilation, actually. Yeah. Sad. It's dank. It's damp. It's cold. That's one thing I was going for. It's a little chilly down here.
Right, because heat rises. It leaves the basement kind of dank and wet.
Heat rises and I don't.
Yeah. Well, this is Segments, the only podcast hosted by us on the entire web. I'm still Amir.
I am forever Jake.
Speaking of me, you asked ChatGPT to come up with some trivia questions about myself.
Right. That's right. I had the idea that I would do like a year 2000 trivia. All things that happened in 2000. I was like, will this be interesting? And I searched, I asked ChatGPT to give me 10 questions about what happened in the year 2000. And it wasn't that interesting. The movie that won Best Picture, I believe, was The Gladiator.
Yeah. Which now is coming. They're coming out with a new one. I don't know if you saw Gladiator 2.
So actually,
coming
now
soon.
that actually is really fascinating.
Yeah.
But no, then you asked me to see if it could make a quiz about Jake and Amir or you.
Yeah.
And I asked, it answered. It was the first round of questions was pretty bad. It was like, what web series did Amir Blumenfeld star in at College Humor?
Classic.
Yeah, like I believe it also said, what is Amir's last name in the Jake and Amir web series? So like pretty easy questions, I think too easy. And then I said, I need 10 obscure questions. They need to be very niche, something only a super fan of Amir Blumenfeld would know. And it gave me some really interesting questions, which I think it made up, but we'll see. We'll see if any of this is accurate. Do you want to play?
So it's either wrong or it knows things about myself that I don't even know.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna pull. I have about 20 questions, but I'll pull randomly.
Okay.
So this is ChatGPT saying, here are 10 obscure Amir Blumenfeld trivia questions with multiple choice answers.
Okay.
Okay. What is the name of Amir Blumenfeld's podcast? If I Were You, the Headgum Podcast, Twinnovation, or The Duty Report?
The Duty Report? The fuck is that?
I guess ChatGPT combed the archive of the internet and kind of deduced what you would be good at.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dudeist.
What's the correct answer?
If I were you, I would say is the closest, even though that doesn't exist anymore.
Yes, actually, and ChatGPT would not accept that answer. The answer is B, the Headgum podcast.
Okay, so it's trivia question that an AI wrote, so it might be incorrect. I have to get in the mind of the bots, the algorithm. Yeah. Okay.
Before joining College Humor, where did Amir Blumenfeld work? A, Starbucks. B,
No.
The New York Times.
No.
C, Barnes and Noble. Or D, MTV.
I guess the one that's most potentially incorrect, but in a slightly right way, is MTV, even though that came after College Humor, but we did have a show on MTV. So at one point I was employed by them.
Final answer, D, MTV?
No, Barnes and Noble, C.
Correct. Barnes and Noble is correct.
Yes. So I did steal a magazine from Barnes and Noble one summer when I was 15.
And that
they made me work there for 2 weeks to pay it off, and that's what it's coming up with.
All right, so you're
I
one
haven't
of two.
told a soul about that, but I guess they fucking combed the employment record or something and found my name.
They downloaded CCTV footage.
Yes.
In the web series Jake and Amir, what is Amir's catchphrase? A, dope. B, not really, dude. C, Naysky. Or D, I'm so coy.
See, this one it could have known if it was able to scrape every Jake and Amir script, which does exist, and come up with the most popular 3 to 4 sentence segment.
Yeah, it should be able to do that. It wouldn't it doesn't seem like it would be that hard to make a catchphrase quiz for you, for sure.
Right.
ChatGPT cannot.
At one point, hashtag dope was a catchphrase of yours, but I think that was from the podcast, right?
Yeah.
Hashtag dope. What does it think? What was the coy one? I'm so coy.
Yeah, the answers are dope, not really, dude, Naysky, and I'm so coy.
Okay, I'll go with the most wrong one because that's what worked for Barnes and Noble. I'll go Naysky, which I've never said in my life. Yeah.
That's correct. Nay-SKI. Correct answer. Naysky.
Again, it couldn't have been a catchphrase. A 2-syllable word I've never uttered in my life.
You're actually killing it. You're 2 for 3?
Yeah. Maybe even 3 for 3.
No, you got one wrong. 3 for 4? Didn't you? Okay. Yeah, you got the Headgum podcast one wrong, but you got Barnes and Noble and Naysky.
Naysky, yeah.
Okay. Amir Blumenfeld made a cameo appearance in which of the following films? Can you... Okay, I guess you have been in a film. All right, so the answers are A, The Disaster Artist, B, Superbad, C, Anchorman, or D, 21 Jump Street.
Wow. This one is real easy to search, so I'm disappointed in ChatGPT.
Yeah,
there's no
it should have been able to
any
say
of these.
Harold and Kumar 3.
Yeah. One of the first
just go to your IMDb.
Yeah, The Disaster Artist featured some comedians, so maybe they just assumed I was in that. I'll put The Disaster Artist.
Correct. This is incredible that you're doing so well.
I really am through the looking glass. I'm getting into the mind of the algorithm.
Which celebrity did Amir Blumenfeld once have a famous feud with on Twitter? A, Justin Bieber. B, Kanye West. C, Jimmy Fallon. Or D, Taylor Swift.
Which famous comedian? Well, 2 of those aren't comedians, right?
No, which celebrity did Amir Blumenfeld once have a famous feud with?
I probably have tweeted at or retweeted jokingly most Justin Bieber. But again, I have to get in the mind of someone that's looking for literally
has no
the
idea
worst
what the fuck
possible
it's
answer.
talking about. A computer
So
that's
say
malfunctioning.
Jimmy Kimmel.
which it was really incredible because that's not even an answer. I assume you mean Jimmy Fallon?
Yeah, it's Jimmy Fallon.
Incorrect. The answer is B, Kanye West.
Which I should have been in a fight with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
That one was slightly too logical. Shit.
Okay, here's back. Now we are back into completely illogical. What is the title of Amir Blumenfeld's 2017 comedy special? A, Amir Blumenfeld, The Podcast Years. B, Nude, the Musical. C, The Cool Guy. Or D, Amir Blumenfeld, Not Really a Hero.
I wonder what in its programming DNA it came up with to have this as a question.
They all sound so bad.
And it was so sure. What was the title of his 2017 comedy album?
2017 had to be just the worst year for a comedy special too. Like,
why did he assume? Why did it assume? I assume it's Cool Guy because I kind of like that as a title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, The Cool Guy actually maybe is the one that's not that bad. Like,
yeah,
Amir Blumenfeld, and also two of them say your name and then a colon. So your special is Amir Blumenfeld, The Podcast Years.
That's
just so
terrible.
bad.
Yeah, imagine a comedy special. Welcome to Amir Blumenfeld, The Podcast Years.
So boring sounding. I hate reading it. The Cool Guy is nice because I guess it's like just the most straightforward, nothing.
Right.
But the answer is B, Nude the Musical. Nude the
really
Musical.
The name of a comedy special. No singing, no nudity at all. That's actually really funny.
Yeah. What is the title of the short film? Now that we're talking about your solo projects.
Yeah.
What is the title of the short film that Amir Blumenfeld wrote and directed in, you guessed it, 2014? A, The Badger. B, Waking Up with Strangers. C, Why You Suck at Guitar. And D, Mustache Warrior.
Mustache Warrior. The first three sort of allude to projects that either exist or were like potentially college humor videos, like How to Get Better at Guitar to Get Laid, that video we were in. So maybe it's based on that. Badger, I think, is like a short film or something about a stuffed animal, maybe. So I'll say The Mustache Warrior, which is just completely random and unrelated to everything. It's like Nude the Musical.
Yeah, the answer is actually B, Waking Up with Strangers, which I feel like is that not a thing? Like I feel like that's the name of a short film already or something.
Waking Life is a movie, and then also the game show where Dan was like woken up in the middle of the night show. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Okay, let's do a couple more nice and quick because these ones should be pretty easy actually.
Lightning round.
Before joining College Humor, which city did Amir Blumenfeld live in while attending college? The answers are Chicago, Boston, Philadelphia, or Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Let's see if it got it right.
Philadelphia, dude.
Why? Why?
It was obviously Philadelphia.
There's
what was the
way.
first College Humor video that featured both Jake Hurwitz and Amir Blumenfeld together?
Oh, that's actually a good question.
That is. None of these, I think, are correct. Hardly Working the Roofers, Jake and Amir Tinder, Hardly Working the Intern, or D, Jake and Amir Coffee Shop.
See, Coffee Shop is an actual video.
Right.
The other three are not, right?
I don't know. The Intern seems like it could. Well, wait, no. Coffee Shop and Tinder are both videos.
Okay. The Interns might be an early one where we did like intern interviews.
Right. Hardly Working the Intern. I'll search it.
I think I'll do that one.
It's not a video. The ones that come up are freestyling interns, rap battle.
That's what makes me even more sure that that's the answer.
The answer is actually Hardly Working the Roofers.
Oh, another video that doesn't exist. Yes.
Oh, here's a good one. In the web series Jake and Amir, what is the name of Amir's fictional girlfriend who is never seen or heard but is frequently mentioned? A, Sheila, B, Tanisha, C, Cheryl, or D, Molly?
Again, the most wrong answer is Tanisha, a name I've never said on the web series, maybe or since the web series. So I'll say Tanisha was.
That is correct. Tanisha
answer.
is correct. Yeah. That is correct. Ding, ding, ding. It is indeed, Tanisha.
It's so secretive. It's never even come up in 20 years.
Right. Okay, we have one more question. Oh wait,
and this one is for all the marbles.
Another really good one. This one's for all the marbles. This is my favorite one, I think.
Yeah.
Amir Blumenfeld co-wrote and starred in a 2019 comedy film with Jake Hurwitz. Did you know that we did that?
No,
in 2019 we were in a film.
You and Tanisha.
Yeah. What is the title of this film that you and I starred in 2019? Okay. A, The Long Dumb Road. B, Lonely and Horny. C, The Other Guys. Or D, Jake and Amir, the movie.
The Other Guys is a real movie. Lonely and Horny is what we did do. Jake and Amir, the movie, could be misconstrued as a movie if you just piece together a bunch. And the last one, which one was it? The one that has nothing to do with anything?
The Long Dumb Road.
Yeah, I'll go The Long Dumb Road, which is not a
correct.
movie.
That is correct. The Long Dumb Road.
Okay. So maybe like AI won't take over the world. Like if this is as good as it gets, they keep warning us, but like I can't imagine this machine leading to, I don't know, a robot versus human holocaust.
I mean, I kind of can, because it seems like you could do something as simple as like, hey, keep the nuclear codes safe, and then ChatGPT would be like, okay, they're in the open, or I'm launching the nukes or something. Like, it won't be smarter than us, but we'll be dumb enough to entrust it with something that it can't handle. I think.
Yeah, it'll print a killing machine, and then it'll be like, to disable me, what's the name of a movie that Jake and Amir were in? And we're like, Jake and Amir? No, The Long Winding Road. Kill,
I don't think Amir
destroy.
Blumenfeld did anything after Nude the Musical. I think his career peaked at Nude the Musical.
I love Jake. I loved Amir Blumenfeld colon the podcast years. I haven't heard from him since. All right. I think that was illuminating.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really cool.
And I did pretty good, all things considered. I tried to.
You actually did. I feel like you did better at this than like trivia that there was right answers to when we did like Jake and Amir trivia.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Good for you.
Thank you to Babel for sponsoring this episode of Segments.
Woohoo, folks.
Jake, I don't know if you know this, but the best way to learn a language is immersion.
Yeah. I actually did know that.
Yes, you can live where the language is spoken and use it every day. But if that's not in the cards for you this year, because it is hard to move to Spain or Italy right now.
Right. A little bit, though I do want to.
You can still learn a language the second best way, and that's with Babel.
That's right.
Babel has quick 10-minute lessons that are handcrafted by over 200 language experts to help you start speaking a new language in as little as 3 weeks.
Easy.
Wow. Babel's designed by real people for real conversations. They have tips and tools that are approachable, accessible, and rooted in real-life situations.
You'll love to see that.
Convenient courses that teach you a new language in less than a month. I mean, that's insane.
It's perfect. Come on.
And studies from Yale, Michigan State, and others continue to prove that Babel is better. One study even found that using Babel for 15 hours is the equivalent of a full semester at college. So, Jake, maybe you can say you graduated.
Well, actually, it was fascinating that you mentioned my alma mater when you said one of those studies conducted by Yale University.
You went to Yale?
I graduated from Yale, magna cum laude.
Often. Loudly.
Yes, exactly.
Babel has over 16 million subscriptions sold, so it's not just us using it. There's literally a huge population, roughly the size of, I'll say, Georgia, using Babel.
That's really good. Can you actually speak Georgian?
I cannot.
That's absolutely amazing.
But fact check me. 16 million people is my guess. Plus, all of Babel's 14 award-winning language courses are backed by their 20-day money-back guarantee. And if you want a special limited time offer for our listeners right now, you can get 55% off your Babel subscription. But only for our listeners at babbel.com/segments.
Was your guess for Georgia the state or the country?
The state.
You said 60?
16 million subscriptions sold for Babel, and that's my guess for how many people live in the
16.
state of Georgia. Yeah, 16.
Okay. You are 6 million off. There are 10 million people in Georgia.
Damn it.
But
okay.
Babel's not going to make you better at math, loser.
Oh, nice. Muy bien.
Yeah.
Muy bien. You can get 55% off at babbel.com/segments. That's BABBEL.com/segments.
Okay.
And as always, rules and restrictions may apply.
Yeah, you know that.
So be a better, smarter person. Learn a new language with Babbel.
Right on.
Thanks, Babbel.
Losers.
All right, we're back.
Yo.
Here's a quick seg. I thought to call either top and bottom.
That's weird.
Which, not necessarily with the spirit of the segment, which you guys will see. Or I am the 1%.
Oh, that's good. I am
Yeah.
the 1%. I like.
So these are things that I've realized that I'm either in the top 1% of or bottom 1% of. And they're not like,
Right.
normal talents like basketball or speaking language or making funny videos. I'm talking about mundane life events. For example, I'm noticing recently that I am in the bottom 1% of cracking eggs. I, for whatever reason, can't fucking crack an egg correctly.
How do you
crack an egg?
I'll tell you my tried and true method, which I think puts me squarely in I would say I'm above average at it. I think I'm above average.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your experience with cracking eggs. How often are you making eggs? First of all,
I'm sort of in an omelet era, and I'm specifically in my lox era.
Nice.
I had never liked lox growing up, and ever since the sushification/salmonification of my palate, I've started incorporating lox to my
and now you're insatiable.
I'm like, this is great. I can have this every morning. Seems pretty healthy, and super easy and fast to make. You get the lox pre-made. They're already done. You get them in that nice, really thin package. Nothing like a really thin sleeve of lox.
Right, where you have to reach your hand in and all of it gets wet just to get the lox.
I gotta fucking slide it out, but it's slimy with fish oil. But I finally do. And then the egg takes 2 minutes. It's really easy to make an omelet, except for the fact that I can't fucking crack an egg correctly.
Are you actually flipping, you're making an omelet, or are you scramble eggs with, and you're calling that an omelet?
I'm cracking 2 eggs into the omelet, and then I'm moving the eggs around, so it's almost like white and yellow ribbon, sort of half fried, half scrambled.
I see. Okay, so but you're not whisking it, pouring it, flipping it in a French fashion.
No, I'm not whisking it.
Well,
I'm trying to crack on the side of the pan. And then if I do that too hard, it cracks on the outside of the pan and egg gets onto the fire. Bad.
That's what you don't want to do.
Too light, and I'll crack it, and it won't even crack all the way through. And then I'm
then you have
forcing
to
it open with my hands. It's over the thing, and shell is falling in.
What you're making is actually a rookie mistake. I make my daughter eggs most days of the week.
Okay.
And I'll tell you exactly how to crack an egg. Are you ready?
You blended shell and all.
And Gemma loves the shell, or at least she doesn't mind. And Mama doesn't have to know because she left me. So I grew up thinking you needed to crack an egg on the side of a bowl, on the side of a pan, something with
it needs to be a
sharp
flat
edge.
Ridge. Yes.
Yeah. You do not crack it directly on your counter.
I don't understand that. I've heard of people say that. Then it just flattens it onto the counter. How does it create a ridge all the way through the egg?
It doesn't, but you don't need a ridge all the way through the egg that you break open. It punctures the egg in the at the bottom, and then you put your thumb in that puncture and pull it apart.
See, when I do that, then it creates the shells that fall in. I need I can maybe do it on the corner of the counter.
No. You do it on the flat.
Does any egg get on the counter?
No, because honestly,
that's impossible. If it cracks open on the counter and none of the wet egg gets
some egg
out,
will get on some egg's going to get anywhere. If you crack it, there might be a little bit of seepage. But I'm telling you, you are way more likely to crack the egg in half accidentally and have it go all the way down the pan when you're cracking it on the side of something than if you just crack it directly on the counter. Because even if you crack it pretty hard, the structural integrity of that yolk isn't fully compromised. It's only the shell.
Well, what I've been doing is using a knife and sort of slicing it over the pan. That way, it does get a little shelly, but it is a specific slice. And then I do it open it with my fingers over the pan.
Go get an egg.
No,
Go get an egg.
No, I don't want to get it on my fucking computer.
You get an egg. Get an egg. Your computer is obviously raised on a little like platform right now, isn't it? It looks like
It's on a standing desk. I would
There
have
you
to
go,
get
it's on a
egg on the
standing
desk. Where would
You
I
wouldn't have
put
to get
the
it.
fucking
Clear-
yolk?
clear the desk.
No.
Okay. Clear.
Yes.
Yes.
There's wires.
Yes.
There's an iPad. There's these things. There's no room for it. I need to do it separately in my kitchen later.
Okay, fine. Will you record a video of you trying my method and
Okay.
see how well it works?
Okay, so I'll try your method later. Also, what are your thoughts on non-stick pans? You believe that shit, or it's like eventually everything starts to stick?
Well, I'm worried about. Actually, I'm not, but Jill was worried about. I don't know, microplastics or like nonstick pans are not actually that good for
Healthy,
you. You're kind of eating the Teflon or something.
Right.
So we got rid of all of our non-sticks and now we're on ceramic
Oh,
pans.
interesting. And then does it stick? Is there just sticking and it's like that's part of the fucking game at this point?
I mean, it sticks a little bit, but it's not really a big deal. I put some butter in there. I'm able to extricate most of the egg. I think they're slightly harder to clean, but not much harder to clean. It's fine.
I feel like I buy a new nonstick pan every 6 months, and it's like, actually, to make it really nonstick, you can't do this, and you have to butter it, and you can't make it too hot, and never actually clean it by like making it this like level of water. I'm like, these are too many rules. Yeah. You're trying to get out of the nonstick thing. It's either nonstick or it's not.
I think I'm in the bottom 1% of taking care of pans. I really don't give a shit about a pan.
So you'll leave a thin film of egg on the inside.
No,
overnight.
I mean I wash them pretty well, but like I'm not paying attention to heat. I'm not going to read anything on how to make it nonstick. I'm like butter or oil makes it pretty nonstick, and that's good enough for me.
Are you turning the heat all the way up?
No, I keep it pretty low. I learned at a young age that if you don't want to see flame going out from the side of the pan, that means it's too hot. All of the flame should be heating the bottom of the pan. So I tend to keep it pretty low.
That's good. I think that's the way to make it nice and soft too, without burning. You don't want to burn the outside while leaving the inside kind of runny.
Yeah, I've gotten very good at making 2 scrambled eggs for Gemma.
And will you eat one?
No, I don't know why I haven't. I sometimes, well, I guess I used to have a bite, but now she kind of eats 2 eggs, so I don't. I just let her have the whole thing. Sometimes she gives me a bite. Sometimes one falls on the floor and I'll eat that. Not all the way on the floor, but on like the little catchy thing underneath her high chair. Yeah. So I'll take a bite for sure.
All right. Do you have anything in the bottom one?
Bottom one.
Or top one?
I mean, I think I have a very bad short-term memory. I have like, if you ask me anything that what I did last weekend, and I just can't ever remember. I sometimes need to
you can't remember it at first, or you actually can't figure it out, even if you spent an hour thinking.
I guess if I spent an hour thinking, I could. But if somebody says what'd you do last week? I would be like, I can't. I don't know. I need to look at my phone and see if I have a photo of something. Right. And then I'll look at my phone. I'll be like, oh, I went camping upstate. It was like that should be the top. Like that should not be hard to recall.
That was a big one.
I have a very bad memory.
But then sometimes we look at old Jake and Amir videos from like 2009. You're like, oh, I remember that shirt. I was giving it to it 2 weeks before that shoot. Yeah. And then I gave it away to my brother the day after and blah, 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 blah.
I think I have a good long-term memory, but a bad short-term. So like I'll remember that trip that I took last week in 10 years.
Yeah. The shirt you wore that day, but not necessarily what happened yesterday.
I am very visual, so I need hints. Like that's why when I see a still from a Jake and Amir, I can call up more stuff. But if I'm just standing out in the open world and somebody is like, I don't know, describe a shirt you used to own. Well, maybe I could do that. But if it's not related to clothes, I think I'd be lost.
You're just obsessed with shirts.
That's probably true.
You fucking love shirts. What is that shirt? JT Tennis? That's new.
It is new. I bought it at L Train Vintage 6.5 weeks ago.
I spent $27, but I paid all cash, so they didn't have to charge me more.
The processing fee. Yeah, I don't know. Can you think of anything that I'm in the bottom 1% of? Like, what do you think I suck at?
I don't know. I guess I don't really necessarily watch you every day.
Yeah.
It used to be cooking in general, but you said you got better at that during the pandemic.
Yeah, I am definitely. I don't think I'm good at cooking, but I can like cook things without really like looking over a recipe now.
Yeah.
Like I kind of know the internal temperatures of what chicken is supposed to be. So I can.
Don't get me started on meat thermometers. I don't trust those either.
Really?
What about going to the movies? I feel like you rarely go to the movies.
Oh yeah. No, I haven't been. I mean, I haven't gone to a movie theater in 2 years, I don't think.
Yeah. In the last 5 years, how many movies have you seen in theaters? Less than 10, I would say.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's gotta
less than
be
10.
that's gotta be bottom 1%.
Yeah. I'm also really bad. I only because I've recently started doing this. I never go to museums. I live in New York City and I hadn't gone to a museum once since I moved back in 2019. Not a single museum.
You said.
Yeah, I still never been to a musical since I moved back.
So maybe
I guess,
culture.
Yeah, culture. Experiencing culture.
Yeah, you
appreciating
sort of moved
culture.
to the cultural mecca of the world, and in the
Yeah.
last 5 years, haven't seen a musical, a movie, or a museum.
Right. And all of the stuff that I like is actually really, really hard to do in New York City, like riding my bike and rock climbing and surfing. Those are things I have to kind of leave the city to do.
Interesting. And you don't really go to bars anymore either.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't.
So really, you should be living in, I don't know, Connecticut.
I should stay here at my parents' house. There's no reason to leave.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of space in New York. Everything's more expensive, but you pay that premium to do the cultural things that you're not doing. What about concerts?
Yeah, exactly. I guess I've gone to concerts maybe a little bit more because I usually like people will ask me to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, left to my own devices, I think I get more
Music, movies, museum, musicals. These are the 4 M's
that I'm not maximizing at all.
Nice.
I think I like doing stuff during the day. Like I like being out in the morning and then being home at night.
Yeah.
Museums, I could theoretically.
At 9 a.m.
Yeah,
Imagine
I would love
just strolling out of bed and seeing Cats at 8:45. You get out and it's still 11. Time to make fucking eggs.
Yeah. It's not a matinee, it's a satinee because you're doing it on Saturday in the AM.
On satin sheets. How good are you at putting a duvet cover? That could be pretty polarizing.
Oh yeah. Like putting it on. You mean putting it on?
Yeah, putting the duvet cover over or folding a fitted sheet. Bed laundry in general.
I'm decent at all of that. I think I'm top 1% of organization and keeping things orderly.
I see. So you have you know exactly where your fitted sheet should go or your towels should go.
I don't know exactly how to fold a fitted sheet, but I know generally the vibe of what you want it to look like at the end, and I can get there. But
generally the vibe of what you want.
Well, yeah, because you have
the
scrunchy pieces and you don't want you don't want any of those exposed. You want it to basically be as square as the flat sheet.
Yeah.
Which you can do if you just get it into like a
so you know what
zone
folding
that looks,
is. You just don't know how to do it for that.
I can do it. No, I can do it. I'm creative and I can make it my own.
I know what it's supposed to look like at the end. A ball, like this fucking disorganized basketball, a sheet sphere of sorts.
I can get it.
Wrinkly, kind of still wet.
Excuse me. I'm telling you, I can make it look like the flat sheet. I can do that, but I don't prescribe to any of these Marie Kondo, here, use a cardboard cutout thing to make it perfect. I don't think you have to make it perfect because it's only ever going to get unfurled and fitted over a mattress.
Yeah.
Let's be serious.
One of my top 1% is detangling wires. I'm pretty good at untangling a wire mess. A cord.
What do you...
too.
And
like headphone cords or old remote controls on video games.
Do you mean like
cords.
you can do that faster than most people? Or do you think most people don't even
at all?
At all.
Than most people.
Like you're saying some people just leave their wires messy.
Like this is fucking, it's a knot. It's a giant morass. It's a mess. I can't figure this out. Give me a week and I could probably get there if necessary, as long as you also don't need an egg. Okay?
How's that for cracking an egg?
All right. Some tops and bottoms, some 1%s.
Well, I didn't say my 1% yet. Oh, I guess I said it was keeping things orderly, but that was off the cuff. I think I'm actually the number one parker in the world. I don't think anybody is better at parking than I am.
Call me Parker.
You could call me. I call myself the parking king. I actually do call my. I've said it on the.
And what does that
before.
entail? Like finding a spot or getting
it
into a
entails
spot?
respect first and foremost. So don't ask me questions that you don't need to know the answer to.
It's a fucking conversation.
Don't talk to the parking king. Do not talk to the parking king.
All right, fine. Let's not
unless
talk about
spoken
it then.
to. Well, the parking king wants to talk about it. The parking king will talk about
So
it.
let's hear.
But don't ask the parking king questions. Okay?
Okay. So parallel parking.
Being the parking, don't interrupt the king. Neither.
Or it's off with your head.
So that's the first thing. I am allowed to order decapitations.
I'm the parking jester.
It's about, number one, it's about parallel parking. That's just baseline requirement. You have to know exactly how big your car is. I cannot tell you how many times people have told me that I wouldn't fit somewhere, and I fucking absolutely fit. I have a pretty big car, a pretty long car. It is a 4Runner, and I can make it fit in any spot. Okay, if your RAV4 can fit there,
a little
then
nudging,
my 4Runner can,
which is
yes,
legal.
and I'll nudge you. But the king is allowed to scrape your Hyundai. Okay. I am the king, and I can actually bump you forward if need be. And I'm also allowed to leave my car angled into the street when I can't fit.
The trick is to have your tires on the curb a little bit.
It is also, you do need a little bit of that king behavior in you, because it's about finding spots that other people aren't really aware of that are spots. You know, like in say you're on a street where there's a dip in the sidewalk, so it looks like it's a driveway, but actually it's fenced off. That's no longer a driveway, or this driveway was converted to a storefront. It looks like it's no parking, but you are allowed to park there. So it's kind of seeing through the system, knowing that the rules don't apply to the king, and parking there.
Loading zones on a Sunday.
Yes.
I saw you get kind of mad at me because I was talking over you or something. I was going
to call you out, but I saw that you were about to back off. And it takes, you're learning to respect the parking king, and I appreciate that.
And does it require a little bit of luck?
Excuse me? I was going to say it requires luck. Yes, the parking king is born into this golden situation. So it doesn't require luck as much as it requires birthright, maybe,
destiny.
Like, is being born into the monarchy luck, I guess. Kind of is.
Yes.
I am blessed, I am lucky, but I think it also requires savviness, confidence, as I mentioned.
You ever leave a meter like a little short, a little shy, and be like, I'm probably not going to get a ticket, it'll be fine?
Yeah. Like street sweeping is 8:30 to 10. It's like, okay, I can actually come back at 9:42. I see the sweeper has gone through. I see another car with a ticket. I'm like, I can actually leave my car here. They're not going to ticket it. So yeah, there's a lot of, there's gamesmanship. There's gamesmanship involved. It's kind of like, it's like being prime minister in a way too, because I have negotiated my spot as the king. I have worked my way up there.
Have
but it
you
is
ever
also a birthright. It is a divine right. Yes.
Parking ticket. Have you ever gotten a parking ticket? Have somebody come for the king?
Has someone had the gall to give the king a parking ticket? How do you think I'm expected to pay this? I'm destitute, and you know that. Yeah, of course. I've gotten some parking tickets.
30, 40 at a time.
No, I for the amount of parking that I do, I have gotten surprisingly little parking tickets. Very few. They are few and far between. They're infrequent.
LA, New York, where mostly?
More in New York, for sure, more in New York. And that'll mostly be street sweeping. That'll really mostly be street sweeping. And those are only days when I'm like, you know what? I think I might end up getting a ticket. I didn't move the car in time, but then I go and sometimes it's not there. Most times it's not.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We can look at my nyc.gov/citypay history and see how much I've spent on parking tickets in the last 5 years.
Really? I didn't know they had that in the system like that.
Of course they do.
And could you do a one-handed egg crack, or is that sort of advanced technique?
Ooh, no, I don't think. I mean,
you didn't say technique, you were the top one. That's top one behavior.
Yeah. I'm above. I think I'm above 50, just so I can get it clean. But yeah, nothing like that.
The two-handed drop.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be cool.
Throwing the shell into a fucking trash can without looking.
In theory, I should be able to crack an egg on my other hand, like the palm of my hand,
Or what about on the there was a TikTok trend where parents would crack the egg on their kid's head, their forehead.
Yeah. There was also one where
it would always startle the child, but it was ultimately funny.
There was one where they were throwing cheese on a crying baby's face.
That's good stuff.
I found it so unsettling. I really hated watching it. I'm sure if you click through the comments, there's a whole bunch. Yeah. I also hate that. I think there's no reason. They're naturally very curious and distractible. Like it wasn't the egg that stopped them from crying or the cheese. It was a distraction. You could also have I don't know, said, "Look out the window. There's a bird."
Yeah, that's not funny.
Yeah, it's not funny. But it's not mean to a child either.
But a crying child with a Kraft single just sort of thrown at their face. That's the good stuff.
I really hated it because none of them looked. It would have been different if it was they saw the Kraft single got on their face and then they started laughing and I'm like, oh, that's really cute. But all of them just looked a little confused and scared. Of course, I'm upset. Oh, something cold hit my face. Now I'm frightened. That seems so bad. I feel like there's got to be child therapists in the comments being like, this is bad.
Try it with a water balloon filled with cottage cheese. See what happens. Maybe it'll start a new fucking trend. An ice bucket challenge, but with milk for a baby to get her to stop crying.
For charity. I can get my kid to stop crying for charity.
Okay. Good segment.
Assholes.
All right, we're back.
Yo.
Not much time, but I thought we should play one of our classics, one of our favorites. Guessing how old this person is game. AKA Who's 51 today? Who's 51?
Who's 51? Who is 51? What are the stakes?
The stakes are stakes.
Really?
That's right. Loser owes the winner a 24 bone-in ribeye from the Butcher's Daughter, which is a famous restaurant.
Okay. I think I guessed this last time and ended up being correct. Deborah Messing.
Okay.
But I think she was older.
Instantly correct.
But I just need to,
and gets over.
I think I guessed her for 56 or something.
Siri, how old is Deborah Messing?
Deborah Messing is 55 years old.
55. Okay. So that establishes our baseline.
Yeah. 51, let's say Rivers Cuomo, the head of Weezer.
Nice. Really nice.
How old is Rivers Cuomo?
Rivers Cuomo is 54 years old.
Okay.
54.
How old is Jay-Z?
Hey Siri, how old is Jay-Z?
Jay-Z is 54 years old.
Wow, we'd kill the 54 game.
Yeah, we're right in that zone.
We got to get out of music.
Not as easy as it looks to get out of music. Because all of a sudden you're thinking of Carrie Underwood. You're thinking of Billy Joe Armstrong.
I got one. How old is Chipper Jones?
Who the fuck is Chipper
Chipper
Jones?
Jones is 52 years old.
He was on the a Braves All-Star. He was on the Braves teams that kept winning championships.
Nice. Really nice. Can I tie? That's the question.
You're not even going for 51. You just want to be 1 year off.
Oh, I thought you were 50. I thought you just won. You didn't win?
No, that was 52.
Oh, wow. All right, great. So the game's still alive.
We
should say after we get someone that's 52, the other person has a chance to tie, and then
you need 51. Now you got me saying it.
Okay. Oh wait, 51. What are we aiming for? 51.
Always 51.
Okay. Nice. Jesus Christ, dude. Why are you yelling at me?
And time.
No, not time. We were establishing the rules. 51. Who the fuck is 51?
What if it's nobody? Is that
what
possible?
What does it mean to be 51? It's like, oh, Seth Green.
I think he's like 34.
I don't get it, but
How old is Seth Green?
Seth Green is 50 years old.
Wow. Closer than I thought. Good job.
Yes.
51. Oh, classic.
Yeah.
How old is Beto O'Rourke?
Beto O'Rourke is 51 years old.
Got
Wait,
it.
does that mean you won? Okay. I didn't know the age. All right, wait, but now I get to tie. To tie. So who is somebody that looks like Beto O'Rourke?
And why?
Who's somebody that has that same
Who's a Beta
vibe?
O'Rourke?
Oh, okay. God, what's his fucking name? It's that guy. It's that
dude.
guy. It's the dude. Matthew fucking Lillith, dude.
Lillard.
Yes. That's what I said.
How old is Matthew Lillard?
Matthew Lillard is 54 years old.
54. Damn. We really got a lot.
How old is
54s.
Lilith? How old is Lilith then?
How old is Lilith Fair? You know, the feminist alt-rock concert from the 90s? How old?
Yeah.
All right. I get
Good
steaks.
All right, I'll mail you.
Steaks.
I'll mail you a butcher's box.
Steaks. Good job.
You too, man.
Me specifically, yeah. All right. For more of us, you can watch us on Patreon. Patreon.com/JA.
Oh.
We're watching Jake and Amir videos there. We're writing Jake and Amir videos there.
That's right.
And thank you to those of you who've been listening, but you can also be watching this on our YouTube channel. So thank you guys for watching as well.
Yes, thank you.
And we'll be back next Monday. Happy July, America.
See you then.
That was a Headgum original.